Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Top 10 Beginner Hints and Tips for Stranded Deep. Hint number 1. You don't want to let your raft float away. For the time being, this is your only means of transportation. It also has very important items in your ration supplies. You got rations, compass, duct tape. All those will come in very handy. So tip number 1, do not let your raft float away. Tip number 2, your raft comes with rations. So you want to make sure you fully utilize them. That will allow you to ignore the fact that you need food or water for the first couple days. So these are very handy and you're going to want to use them. You can press triangle to check the status of your health. As you can see, everything is full right now, so we really don't need the rations yet. But when we do, that just allows us to ignore the fact that we need food and water for the first couple of days. When you do consume one of these rations, it will fill up the food bar as well as your water bar. Tip number 3, you want to supplement coconuts in your diet. Coconuts are very useful, very helpful, very healthy, but you can only have so many at a time. You can drink. What you need to do is drop it on the ground. So you can drink up to 2 coconuts at a time. Any more than that, you're going to wind up with diarrhea, which will actually dehydrate you very quickly. So you can have 2 coconuts. Then it's a good idea to drink some water in between the coconuts, or else you're going to wind up with diarrhea. You can also eat the coconuts, but again, you can only eat 2 coconut halves at a time without having something in between. So we can eat these right now, but if we want to eat that one, we need to have a piece of meat first, or we're going to wind up with diarrhea. Tip number 4, you are going to want to complete the in-game tutorial as soon as possible. This will give you a big head start. It will help you refine some skills and get some experience, and make everything a lot easier. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to finish the in-game tutorial. Alright, now that I've completed the in-game tutorial, take a look at our stats. My harvesting is getting way up there. My craftsmanship skill just increased a level. That is very useful. Tip number 5. Let's go find some food. Here we are. Okay. Okay, hunting level increasing. Alright. So, tip number 5, what you can do with your food. You can do with your food is set it down in a pile, and you can leave it there. It will not spoil until you decide to skin it. So you can just go ahead and pile it up, pile as much as you want, and it will never go bad, and will never go away. Tip number 6. You can throw spears. Now, a lot of people might be like, yeah, whatever, that's very elementary. Well, when I started playing, I actually did not know that I could throw a spear. I was just trying to stab everything. So just so, for any beginner out there who may not be aware, it is possible to throw spears, and you can actually be very accurate. Hold down L2 to aim, and press R2 to throw. Boom. Okay, hint number 7. You can craft items out of material that is right in front of you. You don't actually have to be holding those items in your inventory. For example, what I like to do is grab 2 of these young palm trees. Grab some fibrous leaves so that I have 2. And then I will find a yucca plant. Yucca? Well, it's gotta be around here. There we are. Find a yucca plant. And we'll go ahead and get the fibrous leaves going. And instead of collecting all of those, which is a pain, we could just go ahead and make some lashings because the fibrous leaves are right in front of us. So there's 1. And there's 2. 2 lashings out of 8 fibrous leaves. That's the easy way. So again, the items do not have to be in your inventory for you to craft them. They just have to be in front of you. Alright, tip number 8. You want to make your utility belt as quickly as possible because inventory control is going to be a problem very quickly. So what we want to do, start crafting our tool belt as soon as possible. Open your crafting menu, and you want to press L2 or R2 until you get to the tool belt, and you find out what materials you need. And as you can see, I already have cloth and a lashing, so you can build up to 4 slots, but you can only build them 1 at a time. So you have to build the first one before you can build the second one, etc. So we'll go ahead and craft the first tool belt slot. Right there. And if we want to look at the tool belt, we just hold L1 and then press up on the D-pad, and we're going to put a knife in that spot. So I need to put my knife away first. Hold L1, up on the D-pad, then highlight the knife, and boom. Your knife is in your utility belt. Now anytime you want to use it, just press up on the D-pad, right out. Alright, and you can put it away, and it does not take up space in your inventory. I'm going to go ahead and craft my second utility belt slot. Cloth and a lashing. Done. Now tip number 9 is somewhat related to tip number 8. Some nice shortcuts for you to use that are very convenient. You hold L1, which I already showed you, to bring up your utility belt. That makes things very easy. You can switch them out, throw something in here. We could put a spear over here if we want to, just to make some space in our inventory. And then we pull out the spear or the knife anytime we want. Real easy, back and forth. Another quick shortcut would be to hold R1. That's your quick craft menu. That's so you can make anything you want with whatever materials you happen to have. And you can do it nice and quickly. You don't need to open the big, long menu that's sometimes difficult to navigate. If you already know exactly what you want, and you have the materials nearby, just open the quick craft menu, and you make it, and you can make whatever you need. As you can see in my inventory, I have 2 rocks and a stick. So for quick crafting, I can make a spear, or I make a stone tool. Anyway, hold L1 to get to your utility belt, and hold R1 for your quick craft menu. Very useful. And finally, tip number 10, which is also related to tip number 9, has something to do with inventory control. Now, you are going to run into trouble with inventory. You are going to run out of space. But what you can do is expand that space a little with these boxes. You'll find them all over the place. You're usually in shipwrecks. You just grab one of these boxes, and there's 3 slots in those boxes. Ooh, this one's full. Got some nice stuff. Got another compass, some food, binoculars. Very nice. Anyway, these boxes only take up 1 slot in your inventory, and they can hold up to 12 items. Very, very useful. Let's go ahead and pick that up. Put that away. As I said, it only takes up 1 slot, but it can hold up to 12 items. And that's it for now, for your top 10 beginner hints and tips. Just a few things I wish I had known before I started playing. Alright, now go out there and survive.